I wanted to share something special, the story of my first ever date in Japan. I just got back from Japan, and honestly, it still feels like I haven't fully returned. Everything is so fresh in my mind because, to be honest, it changed a lot for me. I'm from the UK, and about a year ago, I started learning Japanese. I've always been interested in Japan, so I decided to try some language exchange apps to practice. At first, I was just chatting with different people, picking up new words here and there, but then I found this one app where you can talk with native speakers, and that's when things got really interesting. I started using it every single day. By that time, I had already booked a 2-week trip to Japan, so I was beyond excited to finally experience the country for the first time. But out of all the people I talked to, there was this one Japanese girl who really caught my attention. She was beautiful, but more than that, she had this calm, kind, and elegant vibe that just pulled me in. At first, our conversations were totally casual. No flirting, just language exchange. But after a while, I started realizing I was opening the app just to see if she was online. And with the time difference, you can imagine I was checking my phone all the time, waiting for her replies. We started talking more, sending messages every day. Then we moved to voice messages, and that changed everything. Hearing her voice just made my day. She already knew I was visiting Japan for 2 weeks, and as my trip got closer, we started talking about meeting in person. She even recommended a sushi restaurant she loved, one of the best in Tokyo, the kind of place you wouldn't find on social media. At that point, I wasn't just excited about my trip anymore. I was excited to meet her. After months of waiting, I finally arrived in Japan. I was so hyped, but also super nervous. On my second day, we met up for lunch in Tsukiji. I got there early, standing outside, just trying not to look awkward. And then, I saw her walking toward me. Wow, she looked even more beautiful in person. Simple, elegant style. And when she smiled, I swear I forgot how to speak. For the first few minutes, I was definitely a little nervous. But once we started talking, everything just felt natural. We had sushi, talked about travel, life, random stuff, and before I knew it, hours had passed. After lunch, we walked around Tsukiji Market, checking out food stalls, exploring side streets, and I just kept thinking, I really want to see her again. In the next few days, we met up 3 more times. Twice, she came to see me after work for dinner, and honestly, that meant a lot. I could tell she was really trying to make time for me, and that made me so happy. One of my favorite memories is waiting for her in the city after work. I saw her walking toward me in her work outfit. So classy, but still so cute. She looked a little tired, but the second she saw me, she smiled. She took me to local spots I never would have found on my own. Tiny restaurants, hidden gems, places packed with locals. And with every meal, every conversation, we just got closer. By our third date, things felt completely natural, and at some point, well, let's just say, everything happened the way you'd imagine. That's when I knew. This trip had turned into something way bigger than I expected. After 2 weeks, it was time for me to leave. And honestly, saying goodbye was really hard. We stood there, trying not to cry. We hugged. And in that moment, I realized this wasn't just some holiday romance. Something about Japan, about her, about this whole experience. I just wasn't ready to leave. So now I'm back in the UK. But I've already made my decision. I'm going back. Right now, I'm getting my working holiday visa, quitting my job, and saving as much as I can. In the next 3 to 6 months, I'm moving to Japan for a year. And I have no idea what's going to happen. But I just know this is where I need to be. So to anyone listening, if you ever feel like taking a chance on something, do it. Because you never know, it might just change your life.